key factor is a job or form of income that you've consistently held for at least a minimum of 2 years. It's having the right mix of stability, income growth, and financial habits. Many ordinary people with normal jobs successfully pay off homes over 20 to 30 years stretch. The difference usually comes down to planning, consistency, and resilience. A steady job often matters more than a high-paying job. A common misconception is that you need a higher than average salary to afford a mortgage. Partly true, but wait, there's more. Because in reality, consistency often beats high income. For example, here's just a scenario to give you an idea. A plumber contractor earns around $90,000 a year. Their fixed mortgage payment is $2,500 per month. The salary isn't huge, but his business is relatively stable. Raises come over time and benefits reduce other expenses. Over 30 years, that steady paycheck keeps the mortgage paid. Many people start tight but grow old into their mortgage. The early years of a mortgage can feel financially tight, but salaries often increase over time. So for example, someone buys a home at age 30 with an $1,800 mortgage payment while earning $70,000 per year. By age 40, they earn $95,000, but their mortgage is still $1,800. Paycheck raises or job promotions make the payment feel smaller over time. This is one reason people manage mortgages for decades. Your future income usually grows while your mortgage stays mostly fixed. If someone earns $70,000 annually, could they be earning $95,000 in 10 years? Yes, not only is that possible, it is actually quite reasonable and supported by typical salary growth trends, going from $70,000 to $95,000 in 10 years. That's a $25,000 income increase, or about 36% total growth over 10 years. To reach $95,000 from $70,000 in 10 years, you would need roughly 3.1% average raise per year. Over the past several years, multiple reports and compensation surveys have consistently shown that typical annual salary increases in the United States fall within a relatively narrow range. According to employer compensation surveys, such as those conducted by the Management Association, MRA, average raises are approximately 3.4% to 3.6%. This is one of the most direct and widely used benchmarks in human resources. Similarly, projections from consulting firms like Premier Consulting Partners indicate that many U.S. employers plan salary increases of around 3.5% in the coming years. This trend is further supported by broader economic data. Reports from organizations such as RCLCO, Real Estate Consulting and Analysis, published by MarketWatch, show that actual wage growth in recent years has remained close to 3.8% annually. Together, these sources demonstrate a strong consensus that modest, incremental pay increases are the norm across industries. So how does data compare to people's reality? It is important to note that larger salary gains typically do not come from standard annual raises alone. Instead, they are more often driven by career advancement, job changes, or the acquisition of new skills. This helps explain why long-term salary growth, such as moving from $70,000 to $95,000 over a decade, is achievable, but often depends on more than just routine yearly increases. Dual income makes mortgages much easier. Many households succeed with mortgages because two incomes share the load. For example, person A earns $60,000 per year. Person B earns $55,000 per year. With a combined income of $115,000 per year, a $2,500 mortgage payment becomes manageable because it's divided across two paychecks. Even moderate salaries can comfortably support a home when expenses are shared. Emergency planning protects the mortgage. Life happens, layoffs, illness, or career changes. Successful homeowners usually plan ahead. The typical strategies include having these in your pocket. 3 to 6 months of savings, disability insurance, side income, or freelancing, refinancing if needed. So for example, a high school teacher lost their job for 4 months but had $10,000 saved. That savings covered the mortgage until they found a new role. The goal is to build buffers so problems don't cost you your home. Many jobs can sustain a mortgage. People often assume only high-income professions can own homes, but homeowners come from many careers. What matters is income relative to the mortgage, not the job title, and I assume you're focusing on a career path that you love and are passionate about. Discipline matters more than income. 2 people can earn the same salary but could have very different outcomes. I once read a book called Money Magic, An Economist's Secrets to More Money, Less Risk and a Better Life by Lawrence Kotlikoff. He provided classic illustrations in his book to show how financial decisions, not just income, determine wealth. 2 people can earn the same income but end up in completely different financial situations, depending on their decisions. The core message of the story is that wealth is mostly determined by behavior, not just earnings. Your long-term perspective is solid, and the American pride of homeownership is alive and well. A mortgage is a long journey, but definitely a rewarding one. Imagine this timeline. Year 1 feels like a big commitment. By year 4 to 10, equity builds up. By year 20, mortgage balance is much smaller. And year 30, your house is fully paid off. Congrats! That moment changes your financial life dramatically. Thousands of ordinary workers reach retirement with a fully paid home, simply because they stayed consistent. And there's an alternative and a creative way to afford owning a home in this day and age. Find out about it. I added a link in the description below. Any type of full-time job or consistent income can absolutely support a mortgage long-term, if it provides a steady income, reasonable debt levels, emergency savings, and gradual income growth. If you would like to know what your current income could qualify for, and would like to get more information, or to find out an alternative approach to home affordability, please contact me by setting up a free consultation. I've added the link in the description box below. Let's be friends on social media. Like, subscribe, follow, and say hello. Thanks for watching.